Mr. Speaker, let's be clear. The issue that arose was one related to a document, not one related to the background of Madame Couillard, not one related to that personal relationship. It mattered not if that document had been left in a restaurant, at a friend's home, or at Madame Couillard's home. It was a grave error, and for that the minister has resigned.
Maxime Bernier, who had ties to organized crime, and we learned today that she had ties with airport security, and you've said that national security was never threatened, and we had to take you at your word so far. So in order to reassure everyone, can you tell us whether checks were made by your government, and if so, what were they, when were they done, and can you tell us if you still have confidence in your minister? I have no intention to comment on a minister's former girlfriend. I don't take this subject seriously. Thank you very much.
Go underneath the box spring and spread and slice just
the fabric.
The fabric, and put the microphone in a place where you can listen to the audio, if I were to do so.
But he wouldn't do so. Too much fabric in a bed for good audio. A professional would rather bug the light switch or the phone, where an electrical charge powers the bug. Then there's Couillard's claim the buggers were fastidious.
Even the material under my bed, it was like nicely cleaned up.
Her whole story is hard to believe, says Meadow.
Cannot say it's impossible, but I'm skeptical.
We don't know exactly what that story is, but there's a lot of unanswered question and very suspicious element. Her long-time association with several high-profile bikers or people associated to the biker world, her behavior of trying to sort of steal information and steal client when she was into a relationship with a guy and she didn't mind starting secretly her own company. Reveal that this is a woman that is capable to manipulate situation in a Machiavellic way, and that for security officers raise a lot of red flags.
Well, a couple of things we should point at it. If it was, for the purpose of discussion, a government agency that might have done the bugging, if it's all being done above board, they would have had to get a court order to do that. Totally right. The bad guys don't look for court orders, but the good guys are supposed to get them.
That's right.
So that's one thing to point out. You know, I guess the other thing to raise, if her story, if it's possibly credible, doesn't that also argue then for an intervention by the RCMP? If she says her room was bugged and she's having a relationship with the Minister of Foreign Affairs, who knows what might have been discussed in that bedroom?
Exactly.
And do the Mounties not have a job here to try and find out what happened?
An additional reason to find out. It could have been a foreign entity that is trying to spy. That could be bikers that are trying to spy. That can be her who's trying to accumulate information for blackmail purposes. Or that can be another agency for whatever purpose that's done that. Definitely this is a very serious matter, very serious allegation. That would have necessitated, and that's still a sort of call for a more serious investigator.
Stillwell, internal security. Now, I suggest we find a less conspicuous place to park and see if we can trade some information about what's going on back there. Nice little jalopy you have here.
I think we're absolute Boy Scouts, and we follow the international trade rules that were established to ensure harmony and order in international markets.